Hey everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. It is February and it is pretty cold outside, but our snow is melting and we got a bunch of rain and it is now starting to dry out a little bit. So I'm going to come out and do a little bit of cleanup and I hope you'll join me for it today. So here's what we have happening out in the garden right now. Quite a bit of snow is gone, which is all right. We've got a tent over there that has blown away a little bit. I took off the double cover that I had over the kale seedlings and they're doing just fine. And I actually checked on my rosemary the other day and it's looking pretty good. I'll give you a peek through the top here. Let's look. You see down in there, it's still green. Still smells good, so I'm gonna leave that on. Keep it protected. All right, well over here we have some coneflowers that I want to get after. But first in front of it we have a salvia here. So let's see if we can get that cleaned up. And what I'm going to do is just take these and put them in a pile and I will come back through later and clean them up. I don't know if you can see, but it appears that the rabbits have been fertilizing the garden all winter. So that always helps. Yeah, that already looks better. Some more rabbits and some more rabbits. They have been in here a lot. Now I do need to be careful because I don't want to step on things. Right now the soil is very wet because of the rain, and that just means that it's very easy to compact your soil. So, you know, take care, try not to step on it too much if you can avoid it at all. I'm going to continue to leave that sedum, but maybe we'll grab a couple of the branches that have already fallen over and really are not adding to the beauty of this garden bed. No winter interest going to happen on these floppy sedum heads. All these leaves are doing a great job of breaking down too, I can tell. The moisture certainly helps with that. I'm not going to clean up these ferns until a little later. I'm going to let them dry out. Now I do want to come through and get these hibiscus today. So you can wait if you want to until the spring or until you see new growth. But right now I think I'm just going to cut them back. Look at all of the rabbit visitation happening. It's crazy. Now as I cut these hibiscus back, I'm just going to leave a bit of stem still because I do want to make sure that you can tell they're here. And there you have it. That is all cleaned up. Now I have some veronica that's back here as well. That is nice and brown, so let's get that cleaned up. I bet if we look down in here, we'll see some new growth down in there. Yep, there's a little bit of greenery. Now all these leaves have gone down here. Just gonna put them up against this shrub here. Let them continue to break down because we are going to get more snow, I'm sure of it. And we'll probably also get more rain. And this is definitely the ideal time for this type of stuff to really start to break down. So we'll get the veronica on this side as well. And I'm also just going to pull out this is the end of a daylily. See how good all that leaf matter is breaking down? That is just going to feed the soil. Okay, let's get this hibiscus now. I kind of wonder how big this hibiscus is going to get this year. Man, some of these stems are like an inch thick. I was thinking about trying to grow some of these from seed. I was reading that you actually can collect the seed and that hardy hibiscus can grow true to their parent type. I wonder if any of you have tried growing hardy hibiscus from seed and how successful you were with it. If you have, let me know down in the comments. I'm sure we'd all be interested in learning about it and hearing from you. Wow, some of these I almost need to get out like a pair of loppers for. Now you can see the bunnies even came in and ate some of my Rose of Sharon. Can you see those branches that have been nipped off? And then they left me some fertilizer after that. I've gotten some questions from lots of you about my concrete pots and how I keep them out over the winter. Well, these right here, my husband makes these toppers just out of some old plywood that we had, and then they were painted with some water repellent, and then we just put those over the pots. So there's nothing in them over the winter. It's really the freeze and thaw cycle that can hurt pots, but that helps to protect them. Wow, so that really cleaned up those two beds. So the other thing I want to do is do some shrub pruning, but I think we'll do all of that in a different video. Today we're going to look for some more herbaceous perennials that need to be pruned, and I know I have some hellebores over here that are getting ready to bloom, and I want to clean those up. We have a coneflower here. And if I just have some really small debris here, sometimes I'll just leave it on the bed. Because it can just, again, break down. If it's big, I definitely make sure to clean it off and put it into the compost. Let's get these, Dad had these scabiosa right here. It's crazy to me how they stayed green over the whole winter. Look at my witch hazel, it's still blooming. Isn't that pretty? It'll be nice when those blooms are a little higher up, so we can see them even more. All right, so here is some hellebore that is just starting to come up, and I'm just going to come through and clean out some of these outside leaves, because once these bloom, there will be a whole flush of brand new fresh foliage. Even though these leaves do look nice right now, they will shrivel up after the flowers and be kind of black or brown, and they just won't look good. At least that's been my experience with most of my hellebores. Maybe some of them do stay green longer than others. All right, well, that's going to give us a nice little view of these beautiful flowers as they come up. Can't wait to see those. I think it's going to be a little while longer though, even though it's going to be warm for the next few days, because I think we're then going to get another cold snap. And it's kind of insane to me right now that I'm out here in February, even working in the garden, but also fabulous. It's a really gray day out today, and I thought I wasn't going to want to come outside. Well, I really didn't want to because I really wasn't motivated. But gosh, once you get outside and you get going, it sure is great. And I knew there were some things out here that I really wanted to get to. What's the weather like in your area? Are you guys getting warm spells and cold spells. Definitely has been a bit of a warm winter here for us. Other than the one Arctic blast that we got after Christmas, we really have been quite warm, above normal temperatures. Okay, those are going to have a nice fresh opportunity to come out and open up and show themselves off. This hellebore struggled a little bit to get started this year after I planted it, but it seems to be doing really well, and it's got some blooms on it, so that's great to see. It's so easy to miss a leaf if they're underneath some of these leaves that I put on the garden bed. But I'm really glad for the natural mulch because it sure does help to protect the garden throughout the winter. Okay, so there are those hellebores. Can hardly see them against the brown leaves, but they're going to be really beautiful for sure. Now let's get this scabiosa here. These really have some basil rosettes that you can cut right back to. So this bed is looking a lot cleaner now, not quite so junky. There's a little bit of flax here. Grab that. There we go. Nice. Now, I'm not going to be able to clean these up one-handed, these grasses, so I will have to come back through and do that later. It's kind of fun just to walk through the garden. I do see some little tiny snowflakes happening right now. We're gonna get this flax right here. This is one of the ultra pink flax that I left standing because it was still green at the end of the fall and I couldn't bear to cut it back, but it is definitely not green anymore except for way, way down at the base. There we go. Over here we have some, gosh, what is this? It's penstemon. We can clean this up. I can still feel the softness of the soil under my feet where the mole has dug. He is still active during this winter time. There we go. That looks nice. Tidied up. We'll come over here and cut this aster back in the corner. And then next to it we have a sampanaria that we can cut back as well. We will also do a video specifically for hydrangeas because I have so many of those as well. I'd like to get some of this sedum cut back, but I think I'm going to pass on that today. We'll get this mum though right here because that one looks really untidy and just so dead now. It's kind of nice to have them when they look pretty and the snow can fall on them, but eventually what happens is they start to kind of break down with all of the snow and rain melting, and they don't look so pretty anymore at that point. Here we go. That looks a lot better. We have some sticks here from the lilies that we can cut back. Sometimes it's just these little things that you can do to get outside, get moving during the winter time, enjoy some fresh air, and get a little head start on that spring work. We have another mum that's over here that I've been wanting to cut back also. You can see how much they want to begin to grow as soon as they get the right amount of warmth and enough days over a certain temperature. They're really going to start putting out that fresh new growth. But it is nice to see green, even if it's not going to do anything for another couple months. Here we go. That looks great, huh? I think so. We have some columbine in the back there. I'm just going to leave it standing. It looks like most of the seed heads have fallen off so far, and I'm hoping it will reseed quite a bit back there. So I would love to see more of that. And over here we have a bit of a mess from the daylilies, so we're just going to pull some of that up. It's amazing sometimes how just a little bit of cleanup can go a long ways. I should have cut this creeping flax back earlier this year, but I did not. I'm not going to do it right now. Let's see if we can get this mum that's back behind the roses. And then we have an allium back here. They should just pull off at the roots. There we go. I can tell that the bunny has also tried to eat some of my new growth on the lilies. Now look at that, that's all that I've taken out of there, but it sure does already look quite a bit nicer already. Just getting rid of some of that dead. There's one other thing in this bed I need to get, and that's the nepeta. This is the cat's pajama nepeta, and hopefully it will just break off for me. And it's a pretty effective and quick way to do it. Here we go. Better. All right, folks, well, that's going to do it for today. I'm definitely going to continue doing some more trimming, and I'm hoping to make a new garden bed on the side yard, just slightly raised using these bricks, because I want more room for a little bit more vegetables. Maybe, at least I'm going to try. We'll see. Seems like I always start growing vegetables and then flowers take over. But anyways, over by the side where I have the other bird bath, and that's the west side of the house, and it gets some decent sunlight, so I'd like to just kind of add a little bit more interest by using these bricks, and probably will only use them 2 rows deep. That way it will just be a few inches above the actual ground, and I'm just going to put it on top of the ground. So hopefully we'll have a video for you guys coming up, I don't know, sometime within the next month doing that. And I had wanted to do a video to show you about how I use compost and my composting system, as well as putting an extension on my way back composting system, and just haven't had the opportunity to do that because it's been so wet or covered in snow. And so hopefully we'll have an opportunity to do that soon as well. I'd like to use some of that compost that is ready from that in the new little raised bed that we'll be making. So yeah, things are looking pretty good right now. It's nice to see a little bit of blue sky and to be able to see a little bit of green grass. I know that spring is still far away, but it feels good to get outside. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for joining me today.